Cool.
We're good. We're live. What's up, Kris?
Hey, Eric, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. I do want somehow you got to get a little closer to the camera to the mic.
There you go.
All right. So Tint Wisdom number 112. I'm with Kris Queen from Five Star out of Southern Chicago, Illinois.
New
Yeah.
Lenox, Illinois. Yep.
All right. And then also Sunstoppers location. Yeah.
Yep. We are the first Sunstoppers in Chicago area. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to come. The way that the growth is moving with these guys, and it's pretty exciting. Absolutely.
So let's start there. When you say there's more locations to come, does that mean like in the Chicago area? Does that mean your like more of your locations down the road?
Well, I would think right off the bat when I joined up with Sunstoppers with the team, we're South Chicago. I mean, I can't be Chicago because we're gonna go east, we're gonna go north, south. There's gonna be more. I mean, there's definitely gonna be more, is what I would think. So, as happy as we are, as good as we're doing right now as a shop, and the numbers don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in December, which is a very slow time of the year for everybody, pretty much. In the
Right.
winter, it's cold up here, and it's Christmas. I think we popped off 8 cars today, so pretty happy with that, and we had time to spare.
It's real good. So I want to dig deeper into that, like what, you've been on Tin Wisdom a couple times. So if this is somebody's first time listening, you can listen to 2 more Tin Wisdoms of the past. And I feel like it's helpful for reference because you can kind of see different stages of where you're at over the
Yeah.
last year. I'm trying to fix my camera real quick, so hang tight with me.
Yeah, my camera seems like it's funky too. So
I don't know. Your camera's great. My
it's
camera
fantastic.
I look super blurry. I'm trying to get it to refocus. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
I really want this camera to not look terrible during today's.
Here comes the man, the myth, the legend. He's walking in here.
Still one more person.
We still got one more customer to check out, so bear with us here. You see, Joseph. Joseph is here.
Hey Joseph, what's going on?
Hello. How are you?
So do what you got to do. Don't worry about it, and then
You got a couple of questions.
we'll catch up.
Yeah, there you go. Now you see us?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, very good, very good. So anyway,
All right. So a lot has happened over the last couple of months. Why don't we kind of jump into some of what that is? And I mean, obviously, going from being a 5 star window tinting to 5 star window tinting / Sunstopper South Chicago.
right. So the transit. Are you talking about the transition or how? Like,
I don't know what's going on with that.
I think it's fantastic. I was very kind of take prideful to my 5 star name, and I'm still sticking because we are still 5 star, but now we are South Chicago Sunstoppers. I always
Okay,
look
so-
at it as South Chicago Sunstoppers powered by 5 star, because I mean it's hard to explain to not sound like, I don't know, like I don't want to lose our name. We love our name. Everybody knows us out here as 5 star. You know what I mean?
So let's back up a bit. What? How would you describe? Okay, so first and foremost, you're 5 star window tinting. Sunstoppers is a company owned by Mike Burke, and
Yes, sir.
they have, as to my understanding, they have 9 locations that he owns and operates, and then there's another 18 or so locations that are also under the Sunstoppers umbrella, but they're individually owned. And I think the side note to say there, and it's not a franchise. So, because I feel like that's an important thing to clear up from the
that's
beginning.
correct.
So from your experience, you're a tint shop owner. You've been a tint shop owner. You're seasoned to the window film industry, and you've been doing this for many years. And then this year was that conversion process. And you kind of just walk us through some of the things that changed, and kind of start in order if you can, and kind of just walk us through that change.
Yeah, like Joe just said, he said everything. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta put my do not disturb down here so his phone don't ring.
Dude,
Back at it there. Okay. So to start from the get go, I mean, we've been open since 2014, and we stay consistently busy, throughout the year. I mean, just window tint. We don't do PPF. We don't do anything else like that. And it seemed like I was getting to a plateau, and then the more we go on these Facebook social media pages, and you meet people, and you see their process and see what kind of business they're doing, and I run into an awesome guy named Mr. Garrett Wilson down there, and I kind of seen his transition of what he did to become a Sunstopper. And I mean, that guy's he's killing it. I mean, and he's a really good dude. And we started talking, great friends with him now. And he kind of popped it in my head. You should be a Sunstopper. And, so you know what? Let's talk. And we talked about it. And we followed each other every day with what they do each day and I do each day. And then I finally met Mr. Burke, and, Mike's an incredible guy. Absolutely. He's, I kind of think me and him are very alike. And I think he told me that right after talking to each other for about a half hour. So I think the switch for me, and obviously Joe and everybody else here, it just made us literally 100 times better than what we are. And considering when I say that is our reviews and how we're looked at in this area in Chicago we are the most reviewed shop on Google. I try to do a very good job on my Google presence with our page. We advertise a lot. We're not slow. We don't need help. But once I talked to Mike Burke and Thad, who's a wonderful brainiac over there, it made sense. It made a lot of sense because, like I said, I thought I was at a plateau and I couldn't get any bigger or grow any more unless I figured something else that I couldn't figure out. In the industry, when I've been in this 24 years now, since I was 16 years old, I've been doing this professionally. I started for 7 years and did it on the side and then opened the business. But yeah, there has to be a process that I didn't know about. And I could say right off the bat, it was the plotter. I had a lot of pride with I'm not going to spend the money on a plotter when I got this little tool right here and it can make me a ton of money. And it made me a good amount of money and I did very well. And I've got what I've gotten with my little Ofen knife. You know what I mean? And another guy, a good guy like this, who, started not knowing anything about window tint. Or he had a little bit of background, right? Something, yeah. Joe, how long did you do it? Joe's done.
How long ago was it that Joe started working at 5-Star?
A little over a year.
Year and a half. Over a year and a half.
Yeah. About a year and a half now. Yeah.
Okay, so you've kind of started and then you've seen a transition, obviously, this year. What are some ways that, first of all, what's your position there?
Manager.
Okay.
He's a shop manager. I'm the owner. He does. I don't have to be here, to be honest.
Were you hired on as a manager? Was that your?
What's that?
Was he hired with Joe? Were you hired on as a manager?
Tell him what you were hired.
No, I was pretty much hired on to. I just started doing whatever I could. Prepping. I needed a job, and Kris was good enough to help me out, so I started prepping and went from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were obviously a busy shop. You were obviously able to hire and retain employees and staff and so on. But you said you were at a limit, like a ceiling. You might have hit a ceiling in your business.
Yeah.
Well, did that feel like the more you grew, the more?
Let me throw one thing in there, not to cut you off, Eric.
No, go ahead.
It was myself and one other guy who was with me the whole time I started 5-Star. So it's just two of us. He's no longer here. Now, he's no longer here. Unfortunately, he's no longer here. But business is business, and I got to put friendship aside. And Joe was here for a year and a half, and we've converted to Sunstoppers. I think we're going to be going on 4 months now, I believe. We started September 1st. Yeah. So the other guy, he's gone, and it's just been me and Joe. But now Joe, I would have, and this is probably 3 weeks ago now. 3 weeks ago, the guy can do everything now. I don't need to be here. So, and with the work that has to be done with the window tank on the auto. So that's a huge thing, but obviously there's more things that go in with it. Obviously converting with Sunstoppers, we got the plotter. We're using the peel boards. It's a process.
Okay, so I think what would be most valuable potentially, or one of the valuable things I wanted to get out of today's Tint Wizdom was kind of really, getting everybody to understand making it clear where you were at before. So, you have a big shop. How many square feet is it?
2,850.
Okay. And then you do 5, 8, 10 cars a day out of the shop, right?
Yeah. With this shop, we do about, easily 4 to, I'd say before Sunstoppers, Sunstopper conversion, we were doing about 5 a day. And then I was killing myself. Yeah.
So that's what I think would be valuable, is to kind of really be able to paint that picture of you said to Garrett or to Mike, yes, I want to be a Sunstoppers location. Let's rock and roll. And then specifically, if we can kind of peel back the layers of then like, and not to give away any sort of private information, but what I mean is, a general idea of what things came into play. So one example is you didn't have a plotter, so that was important. And
Yeah,
I assume Mike or Garrett said
I was only doing everything hand cut, just me. The
So
other
you're-
guy that was with me, he kind of just laid doors.
so.
And
As a Sunstoppers, you're getting a plotter.
Oh yeah.
Period. You're just going to get
You
a
have to.
plotter.
You have
And then immediately when you got that plotter, what would you say to your old Kris as far as like pre-plotter Kris?
Oh man, that's
Like if
I
you
gotta
could just
stop-
see pre-plotter Kris in front of post-plotter Kris, what
I'm
would you
bored.
say to the
I'm-
old
I'm
Kris?
bored out of my freaking mind right now. I don't even know what to tell you.
Because you're not like running around.
Well, yeah, I'm not cutting everything out. I'm not. Yeah, it's just hand cutting to plotting now. Like I said, against the plotter for so many years.
Okay.
But now that we were shown how to use it and do a couple other things with the prepping system involved, it's mindless.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. It's
Okay,
easy.
so Maverick asked a question and he said,
What up,
you know,
Mav?
he said, basically like, what are you doing now differently that you couldn't have done without them? That's a question. I kind of want to answer it. I want to start the answer if you don't mind, if you want a second to think about it. So
Well,
first and foremost, I can already see that one of the things that you couldn't have done without them is potentially making that leap into getting the plotter. Like, of course, you hypothetically could have got it, but you hadn't for 16 years that you've been working before. So one way that I can already tell you that they valued you, or they've provided value to you, is they've provided like a leadership, a confidence. Hey, this is worth the money. It is $5,000 or $6,000, but
yes,
trust me, it works.
Including trusting the process.
Trusting the process
and
right.
doing the process that goes along with the plotter.
Right.
I mean, that's it. Once you figure that out, it could take a day, it could take a week. I don't know. It took us. Honestly, they were here for a couple days, and showed us the ropes and whatnot. They were gone 2 days. I think one day without them, we bumped each other's heads. The next day,
just a few days.
Because really, you can't undervalue, not you, but in general, people shouldn't undervalue the having like a leadership, having somebody to help with something or guide you. That guidance, of course, you can. If somebody guides you down a trail, at the end of the trail, you could look back and go, "Well, I could have walked down this trail without you." You could have, and you could have gone down a cliff and died, but you didn't. And you shouldn't. It shouldn't be that sort of like mentality where you undervalue it after the fact. So anyway, not saying anybody is. Obviously, you're not. I'm just saying in general, keep that in mind, everyone. It's easy to look back and say, well, you could have did it without it, but you didn't. So, like, hopefully, this could inspire some people to say, well, now I know that I can get a plotter. It's worth the money, and I don't have to be a Sunstoppers location. That's true. But what about the next thing and the next thing and the other things and so on?
That is correct. You're 100% right.
Even with that said, that's an intentional or unintentional benefit that Sunstoppers and then you even coming on today's Tint Wizdom provides the community, because they're not saying we're going to keep this plotter thing secret. It's the first thing you were saying, like, hey, get a plotter. Like, these guys know what they're doing. And the first thing they did was get a plotter.
Yes, that was it. You got to have a plotter. And everybody's going to, some people are going to agree with me and they're not going to agree with me. But when you go on the Facebook pages and you read what people say and everybody's like, you don't need a plotter. We can do 30 cars a day with our, no, you can't. The plotter is where it's at.
Well, if you can do 30 cars a day hand cut, you can do like 60 plotting. So that's
exactly
where it's at.
It's and the people that don't agree, because I was one of the guys that was like, no, I don't need it. I don't need to spend the type of money. I don't need to spend extra money a monthly fee to get the patterns kicked out for me. I don't need it. I got a $7 tool and I can do it just as good. But I'm sorry, you're wrong, because my stress level has gone down tremendously. And he's happier, obviously. He's happier, and we're all happier. I mean, it is what it is. The leadership and I put it as like a team, the Sunstopper team.
Let's go on from the plotter, and let's say this: if I'm watching this Tint Wisdom and I say, "Well, I got the big secret. It's a plotter. I'm going to get that plotter, and then I'm done." You'd say no. You'd say no. What else has transpired, or is there anything else that has kind of stood out to you beyond just that plotter?
The prepping process. We're very well, and I'll just say it. Just when they came in there, Garrett said, he's like, you guys are beyond thorough. You guys are insane. We clean and over clean. Spend too much time doing prepping, like the windows. We use Tyvek tape on the felt. I mean, I get in depth on what I can do to make a clean install. I mean, I guess it's not necessary when you do this the way of the process.
So fair enough to say that there's potential strategies like going into something that can over complicate. Because I see this, like I was talking to somebody, a great dealer that was talking about like the need for tools. And I feel like tools are an example where, like, of course there's a million tools out there, but you don't need a million tools out there. You might need a couple. Them all, though. You might have them for situations, but at the end of the day, sometimes simple. Sometimes you can overcomplicate a simple process. Yes. You can get in and out of there with less tools, less time, get the job done, and everything's better than overcomplicating. I think I feel that way when I see people taking apart Tesla Model 3s. I'm just saying, I don't believe that you need to take the entire headliner and A pillar and B pillars.
We don't take anything apart.
Like, no. I think that's like, I understand you're charging for it, but what a liability you're taking. How much work.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No thanks, right?
I was taught from doing this. I don't take anything apart. We rarely minimal take, and I'll tell you right now, that's another thing that goes with the process with sun stoppers and the thing. We have always been two-stage. We never bottom loaded, and now we bottom load, like certain vehicles. And F-150s, you can do them like standing on your head blindfolded, and there's things that I've learned getting with Michael and the team and the Sunstoppers team that I'm very grateful for, super happy about. So it's well worth looking into, if that's what the question's asked with Sunstoppers. I mean, I would, if I had to, I'm extremely happy.
So Joseph wasn't hired on as a manager. He hasn't been tinting for a million years. But at the same time, you're a manager, and it sounds like it's going really well and working out. Can you tell me how that decision process, like what did you do to potentially, like, I guess, earn that position, or what was it that Kris, like, I imagine it's tough to say you're the manager and I'm going to trust you to anybody, no matter how great they are. When did that transpire at the same time of the Sunstoppers transition, or was that before it or after it?
I'm going to use the washroom real quick. Excuse me. Go ahead. You guys talk to Joe.
So yeah, why don't we jump into that?
It was, I guess, around the same time, maybe even a little after, right then. A lot of it happened because of that transition and simplifying all that stuff. It made it easier for me to learn a clean process from the beginning to the end, every step of the way, without making or overdoing anything, I guess.
Okay.
So, and I guess it was just that process is what made me able to take that position and be able to have the position that I have. So,
which I would imagine, like, look, at the end of the day, Kris is going to be back in a minute and he could watch this over. So, it's within the realm of reality what we're going to say here, what you're going to say here. I know that. But at the same time, like, I would imagine that your job, you feel happier about the future of your job in that position, right, having more control over the position, because it's not like Kris and then everybody else. It's like you and your team. Yeah?
Right. Absolutely. We are, we always consider ourselves a team. It's all kind of a collective effort, if you will, no matter what we do or how we do it. So but it does make me a whole lot more confident that, it's going to get better. So
good. And as far as like stress levels in the shop, I imagine Kris, from time to time, like every human being, could maybe get stressed out in scenarios. Does it feel like a stress level has gone down overall?
Dramatically. A whole lot, yes. It makes everything in the shop go smoothly. There's more good days. There's not bad days as many ever. So
I think, like, when it comes to stress, something I try to remind myself that I think is like it's a worldly truth. It's a humanly truth, which is when you get super stressed out or somebody's stressed out and they're angry or whatever, like with work, that you can also always trace it back to like a fear of loss. So like if I'm mad about a broken like clip on a door or if a bubble on a tint or a forgotten customer, whatever, it's because of fear of loss. If I get a bad review, it's a fear of loss. It's a fear of loss of what the future. And so it's all fear of loss. And I think like what I feel like is a big value of Sunstoppers just alone is that confidence that you get from being part of a team, which could be had in other ways. It's not Sunstoppers, not the only way you can be part of a team, but that's one example, and that's this example. And being part of a team eliminates so much of that fear of loss because you know that somebody's got your back and there's resources to turn to if there is an issue. So that fear of loss goes down and everything becomes better, like everything. Right?
Absolutely.
Like your time off is better. Everything's better.
It starts from the top. Like you said, you don't have to be a Sunstopper to have a great team and be successful because obviously there's very successful companies out there,
right?
And with window tinting, but it's just the leadership that how Michael is, his drive, and his resources, and obviously we didn't even mention the product that we're using. We're using Expel. I mean, I've wanted to use Expel for 2 years now. And, with the territories, I couldn't get it. And, it is what it is.
So let's put that on hold because I really want to point out and like kind of amplify the point of today's Tint Wizdom. Not the point, because the point's to talk to you. That's all I wanted to do. But what I think can come out of it is not a commercial for Sunstoppers, but rather people to see, look, there are paths you can take in the industry. Doing what you're doing is always an okay path if that works for you. Then there's the path of you could become a Sunstoppers. There's also the path of you could wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to do my own thing, but I'm going to make a drastic change because what I've learned or the other things I'm seeing as examples. So starting tomorrow, I'm ordering a plotter. Starting tomorrow, we're getting better uniforms. I'm going to treat my staff differently. I'm going to put somebody in charge. There's all these things you can do. And right. I just think that that's why like I can't help but root for Sunstoppers because look, if you're going to succeed as a part of it, cool. But I still think there's a trickle effect where you can succeed and just be a spectator and succeed because of the work you're doing and the work Mike and Garrett and Thad are doing, because not only are they doing it, but they're doing it publicly.
Mm-hmm. We got Mr. Tallman too. Rick's part of it.
Rick Tallman and Sunstoppers conversion.
With the window film revolution, to me, this is like my hobby. This has been my life. This has just been everything to me. So it took a lot out of me just to go ahead and join Sunstoppers because 5-star window tinting is well known here and everybody knows about it. So it's why I was getting flack. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you, what are you doing? It's like, I can explain it to you or you can just sit back and watch.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to be here and there's probably going to be more of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super impressed with it because you really could have just stuck to an ego thing and been like, this is my logo, and like
I could have.
If you feel yourself doing that just as a person, I feel like it's a good habit to go, if I think I'm wrong but something in me is driving me to stick to this thing, not doing that thing really can help prove to you in the future that sometimes your gut is wrong and you're holding on to things for the wrong reason, and you have to prove that to yourself sometimes.
That's right.
It's like forcing yourself to go to the gym if you don't want to. You know what? You'll learn that that's what you needed.
It's been taking me like 3 years to go back to the gym, and I still can't go. So
I know. I'm wearing a large shirt today because of what 2020 has looked like for me. So
yeah,
it's a little loose, but I planned on growing into it. So
here's the funny thing too. This year with COVID and epidemic, like so many businesses are out. And people aren't working, and it's just crazy that we count our blessings here.
Have you grown, stayed the same, or gotten like your sales 2020 compared to 19?
I was trying to pop this open here to give it a quick look at, like just like what we did today.
Off the top of your head, is it similar? Is it a lot busier or less?
We're since COVID hit and since Sunstoppers hit, we are literally doing 35-40% more revenue.
Yeah, I mean,
easily.
You can't argue with growth during 2020.
And the numbers are right there. I mean, if anyone talked to me about it, I'd gladly be on the phone and say, hey, this is what we're doing and this is how it's working. And here's the best part of it, Eric. We just started doing ceramic coating with Expel. I launched that on social media, and we've already done about 10 cars. Now we don't do wholesale. I'm not dealing with dealerships yet. I dealt with dealerships when I first opened my business, 2014, 15, 16, and then 17 it started going all retail. So we're all 100% retail.
Yeah.
So ceramic coating is launched now with the Fusion Plus with Expel, and then PPF. That's just waiting. We're not really pushing it because we want to both get certified 100%. And we know, Mike's going to come up here and show us, or we might go down to Houston with Expel or San Antonio. I mean, either way, we're going to do what we got to do because I expect the best out of this place, period, because that's how it works.
Cool.
And that's what we've been consistently known as out here is 5-star. So, I mean, look at the reviews. You know what I mean? We might have a couple bad ones, but they didn't get their windows tinted by us.
That's what they all say. I'm just kidding.
We know they did.
I know. I'm just kidding. But that's usually the thing is like the response is like, I checked my records and I don't have any record of you.
That's the truth, though.
And it's usually another tinter who left the review. Like that's usually what happens.
One of those got erased. But yeah, we did have somebody do that to us another time.
Or somebody who maybe was a customer, they were pissed off or something. I mean, not in your case, but in other cases, they were pissed off and they left it under a fake name because they didn't want it coming back to them. You never know. Whatever. Things happen. Like, I know there's devious people out there who leave bad reviews for things they like. They hit the thumbs down when they like a YouTube video. Like, there's people who do all sorts of crazy shit. And the thing is, don't be afraid that it's going to end your world. If one or two bad reviews is going to end your world, should just be an eye opener. You don't have enough reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge to me because I came from a corporate background before I did this, and I knew how to do marketing and sales and all that. And I'm like, you got to get reviews. That's how people find you and come to you. So I was like, I was gung ho about it from day one with reviews. So I think I think we're like over 200 on Google, but over the entire web, there were almost close to 5. Facebook, we got almost 350 or 400 or something. But that's huge. Google reviews are huge, and it's the biggest thing. I just don't like Yelp.
Yeah. I think the funny thing about Google reviews, if you have enough Google reviews, you can do all sorts of dumb shit and say, look, I'm successful because of this dumb shit I do. Like you could name your company something silly and be like, hey, it doesn't matter. Look. And like you could do all sorts of things and people point to where their successes are. But at the end of the day, if you have good Google reviews, you got them. That's it.
Yeah,
you can be like, oh, I'm good on social media. Well, that's great. But they're probably coming from your Google reviews. Like not you, but I'm saying like that's the truth.
Right. No, right.
Most of the traffic is Google.
There's a thing called Bird's Eye that I keep seeing when I do some research on it. Bird's Eye, it's called Bird's Eye View. They'll collaborate. It's like all your reviews all over the web, and they put it. And I'm like, wow, we got over 500 reviews. Wow, that's crazy.
And what softwares like that do is you can use like Bird's Eye as a service. You can sign up for the service, or you can sign up for like Nice Job, and then you can basically automate your service. Like you can basically automate it. So now I'm going to talk about Tint Wiz for a second. And basically, what you can do is connect Nice Job or Bird's Eye to Tint Wiz and basically say, look, when an invoice is marked paid in full, automatically send that person into the Nice Job or Bird's Eye campaign so that they start getting review requests immediately through text, and then follow-ups through email. And that is that, hey, I paid, here's my review request. I'm most likely to do it right then and there. I have a link to it and I'm done. Right. And that's one of those automations that like, look, you can kill it in reviews, but you don't know killing it until you do it automated in that way, because if you're killing it now, you'll triple it. And when you triple it, you'll go, I don't even, like, it's fucking absurd how many reviews you'll have.
We're looking forward to with Tint Wiz because we just signed in. We just chimed in with them. So we're looking forward to it.
We're going to rock and roll together. Something you brought up a few minutes ago that I brushed over is Expel. And you had mentioned how you wanted to be an Expel dealer. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you brought it up. So my question to you is you said before you were a Sunstoppers, you wanted to be an Expel, but you weren't. Now you are an Expel. Is that simply because Expel said, hey, we want you to be a dealer because you're a Sunstoppers, we will give you, like, what is that process? How did that work?
No. Before I even knew what Sunstoppers was, I wanted to learn, I wanted to do PPF and offer it for my customers, a 5-star, because that was part of me hitting that plateau I was talking about, where I'm like, I got to grow my business.
And I remember you were going to go to a training, a PPF training thing.
I was going to go to Flexi Shield actually with Mr. Powell and actually Garrett, and that was before he did all that too, and then COVID hit. So but that's why I wanted to get with Expel initially, is because of, you know, they have the best PPF out there, and everybody knows that. So that, unfortunately, when I didn't get that, I had to just keep on trucking. So we do the Flexi Shield, then COVID hit, then everything stopped, and then that's when we started. That's when I started talking to, you know, Mike and the crew, and Garrett and the crew.
Got it. What a year to make. You know, you can't help but wonder, if there was no COVID, would you be a Sunstoppers location, and would you be better off or worse off?
I still would. I absolutely would. I'd still do it.
I'm not saying if you would still do it. I mean, if the path of life could have taken you down a different road, potentially. That's all I mean. If it never hit and you went to that training session and you start, like, I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like
no, it's a good point, but that's got to go. My answer to that is probably with my relationship that I grew with Garrett Wilson, and just talking with him, and you know, he was always saying how awesome that we were doing this, that, and the other before I even started talking to the guy. Then when I looked into him, I'm like, this guy has got 2 stores. Like, this guy's amazing. Like, he obviously sees something that I don't see here, but you know, my relationship with him is great, and I love the guy, and I'm glad that he brought what he did going to a Sunstoppers is why I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. It's crazy how life works. You know what I mean? So he had that Tint Solutions, dropped it over for Sunstoppers. Now he's got another location. You know what I mean? With my plan is definitely to open up another location very soon, but I can't. You gotta wait till this pandemic. I don't know what the hell's going on. You gotta wait. I gotta wait. So we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. Hopefully get all that certification stuff done with PPF and all that. And I have no negative anything about anything right now. I remember the last time we talked, Eric, you were giving me shit about when are you going to hire somebody to answer phones? You're gonna get. I got somebody to do that, you know, but they're not answering phones. They're kind of doing phones, not even at that prepping level yet. So does that make sense? Like, I'm working him into. He's prepping, cleaning and stuff, but he answers the phones.
Okay.
I'm trying, make him a salesman. Yeah. But now we have since the Sunstopper change, you know, we have a waiting room before, and I don't know, I know you've seen it before. I used to have arcade games in there and a couple of couches, and now we have a sales counter. You know, we built a sales counter.
Sure.
And we have awesome display boards in front, and we have it's a complete makeover that I did in the waiting room, and I absolutely love it. And that right there, you know, shows professionalism. I bought a Square terminal with Sunstoppers. You know, Square, I think they give Sunstoppers 30% off of all their hardware when you know, any Square hardware you get. So I went ahead and said, you know, forget it. I'm buying the best one because I want my sales counter and my point of sale to be awesome. I want it to be memorable when a client comes in. Wow, this place is great. And then we do a great job. And, you know, it's all rolled into one. But that's another thing. Sales counter and point of sale is huge with the display boards that Expel has. Expel has the best marketing too, and I knew that 2 years ago. So when I knew that becoming a Sunstopper also came with Expel, I was beyond happy after I talked to Mike. So,
do you want to take us over to the to your sale, like your?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll walk the shop right now. Joe's actually.
Is it not? We could wait if it's not a good time, but if it is a good time, we could.
We can wait till Joe's done. He's ringing our last guest out.
Definitely wait till the customer's gone.
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't necessarily want to get into like specific finances, or like especially not yours, but I mean Sunstoppers, because like I don't know, that's their business and your business. But overall, you had to pay something for this. Is it safe to say that net? You're making more money even with paying whatever you're paying than not?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's yeah, so you have to pay something. Yeah, absolutely. But has it made me more money where I don't even see that? It pays for that in like 2 hours. 1 day of work. I mean, legitimately. You do pay a little bit of money and it's nothing. It definitely pays for itself right away. It doesn't affect you. And here's the best part of it too. And I won't dig deep into it. Sunstoppers and Mike and Thad, they give you more than what you pay. You get they're putting way more money and more value into your shop than what you're giving that name. That's not paying that Sunstoppers name. Simple as that. And once you know about, if you get the whole spiel ever or whatnot, it's an absolute no-brainer. It's easy as said than done. I think Joe might be checked out here.
So, I mean, we're in no rush, like with him. We should wait till the customer's gone.
All
But
good.
so, okay, you mentioned like, definitely like in the future someday, more locations. Like what would you say like looking in the next like 5 years? 1 to 5 years, like what are some of the different outlooks that you have now versus you had pre-Sunstoppers, pre-COVID? Like, let's go back 1 year to date. We're in December of 19, or we're now in December of 2020. What are some of the differences in your year to 5 year projections when you look forward?
I know exactly what I was doing a year and a half ago. And a year and a half ago, I was plateauing with this shop where I wanted to have somebody to be able to run this shop. And I wanted to stay in the industry, but I wanted to be like a film rep, sales. I wanted to just be. I like to talk to people. I like to sell stuff, and I wanted to stay in the industry. So I was looking to maybe be a regional, sales manager somewhere, for whoever. That's what I initially wanted to do. Now, if we're gonna go 5 years with Sunstoppers, my plan is to, in 5 years, have at least enough store. I mean, I'm not gonna be. I'm just gonna sit back and train and visit my stores.
I mean, I would think that like the move is you hire somebody else, you train them in the shop, and then eventually Joseph goes to the new shop and runs the new shop, and that person steps up to run the existing shop because it's easier to manage the momentum there versus like a new location.
That's exactly.
And then that person's next look is another shop. And if I come on with you, just maybe prepping and cleaning the floors, I can see that my path to success is doing really well here, so I can get my own shop just like.
Well, that's
like Joseph.
that's kind of where how Joe I got Joe brought on, because he got brought on as a prepper. I mean, simple as that. And he worked with the other guy that's no longer with us, and he was the tinter, including myself. But he knew that he could easily surpass and continue and take over, and he's just at that point now. So I literally say about three weeks, about a month now, I don't have to be here. He can do everything. I would never do that to him because I like to be here too. But legitimately, if I have to go run or do something, I can go. And I used to never, ever been able to do that before. So.
Yeah. Super nice. So, time for a tour or not yet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Let's give you a tour here.
So you're on full screen, so use the most of the camera. Everybody's only seeing you.
All right, cool. Just make sure this thing don't fall out. So you guys see, I mean, it's just the office here. Got you covered up here. We put that door right there, and that goes to the sales room. There wasn't a door there before. It was just closed up. So let's go to our shop. We got our back wall. This area right here is kind of where we call the hole, where it's got my my cute little car sitting here. This is where we're going to do the PPF and where we do the ceramic coating. Okay. We got your restroom. We got, when we go into our main sales floor, this lane right here is basically all we need. You got your peel board here, and I need more peel boards. We do need to get more peel boards. The more the merrier, but we do have a mobile one right here, and we can use both sides, obviously, which we do. But yeah, you got your, can you see this close up, Eric? Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, I can see everything. I can see everything I think I should be seeing.
Good. Well, I hope there's nothing bad you see.
No.
But yeah, you got our plotter right here, and it's your little computer. We got we
new
actually got
website.
a TV here to show and obviously teach.
Yep.
To blow up. You got your film, and we got this whole area here. I mean, my shop legitimately, after changing over to the Sunstoppers, I had a smaller shop before this, and I really I don't need this size of shop to do the process, I should say, right, with the plotter, which that's something that, you have to know the process of the Sunstopper way of getting them in, getting them out. So we got another bay right here in the front of the bay. This is where we do the front doors, in and out. Front doors come in and out within, less than 30 minutes, 20 minutes tops. Front doors in and out, front doors only. And then back here, we back in the car and we do the 4 doors. And then obviously in the hole is where we do the cars that are going to be here a little longer, or maybe overnight or whatnot. So it does work out having the bigger shop. And then up here we have my loft.
Storage and whatnot.
We got our film handler up there that I've had for years, where we cut our flat glass jobs. And my arcade game machines are up there and stuff too, and just some other knick-knack stuff. But come over here. like my Purdy bike. This is the door going into the waiting room. We actually cut it in half so we can leave half of it open, and this is our sales floor. So come on in here. And give props to my father and my brother. They actually built me that sales counter there, and we got a nice countertop for it. I mean, this stuff works out great. I mean, it really does. The marketing stuff that Expel gives us is fantastic. Obviously, we're fixing our hood here that's not working, but we got a TV here that loops trailers and stuff of sun stoppers or anything we want to do tint related, or let people watch Netflix or whatnot. And people really do like to see that.
Oh,
you know, better business. That's my Better Business Bureau actually. And I don't have the. Do I have last year's? Yeah. Wait, I've got 19 right there. They haven't kicked out 20 yet. So we're doing pretty good with that and that aspect of it. But people like to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Anybody who walks in that showroom is going to know that you're, a credible, clean, professional business, which is going to change their perspective immediately into one of being open to your suggestions, because you're not, you're obviously
Absolutely.
Credible. You're there for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my my daughter's artwork from back in 2008. But yeah, sales floor, we love it. It does wonders for us.
Very nice. And it's not a big space, but it gets the job done.
No, it's very small. It's very, very small. But, here's our register. This is what we got going on here that people can check out here with this square register. We can do it. We can see our sales reports all right from here.
Yep.
I mean, it's fantastic. This thing is awesome. I mean, we had a pretty good day today, I'd say. 2,800. Not bad.
That's a good day.
We got a computer here set up.
It's a good Wednesday, especially.
That's a pretty good Wednesday.
Winter absolutely. Wednesday, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. So there you go. That was the tour. And then we got our side door here, and we're in a dead end zone over here. And if it's too dark out, you guys are going to be able to see nothing. But we don't get traffic. We are not on a corner. We are not on a street corner. We are in a industrial park with 75 other businesses, and we are in the dead end.
So people are coming to you, and they know they're coming to you.
No one sees us. People come to us. Yeah, exactly. So.
Very nice shop.
Oh, thank you. But you know what? The best thing I wish I could do to this, and I still could do it, but we don't own this building. We rent it. So I'd love to epoxy the floors. I mean, that makes such a hell of a difference visually and just cleanliness, but it costs too much money. And if I owned the building, I definitely would, but it's too much to do it. We might do something, maybe just the lane that we do the one car at a time, back a car in, knock it out, or we got that front line, maybe just a little bit of that, but epoxy is expensive to do something when you don't own it. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Especially because at the end of the day, it definitely looks good, but I don't know that it's going to make any monetary difference to you.
It's not going to make your installations cleaner. I can tell you that much.
I don't even think it would make somebody come to you versus not come to you. I just don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think there would be, it does look nice in pictures. It does add a little bit.
It does look nice, yes.
And it cleans up nicely and so forth. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to get out today? That question, obviously, Joe, Kris, anything?
No, I mean, I just glad to say hi again and get on these. These are fun. I like to watch these. We used to watch a lot of them. I actually got to go back to watching them because I used to catch them live, and now I can't catch them live because we're so busy.
Good problem to have. So yeah. we just added in the notes. We added all the links. So if you're looking to see more about Kris's shop, in the notes links anywhere you're listening or watching this, you'll see Kris's Facebook, his 5 Stars website, 5 Stars Facebook, Sunstoppers website. It's all in there. So you can and then obviously links to listen to this after if you're too busy to.
And if anybody has any questions regarding, sun stoppers or just, how to just do better or just get better as a team, link up with me on Facebook, send me a message. I like chit chatting. So
yeah, you fall into the category of one of the nicest people I know.
You're Santa Claus. Get out of here. You are the nicest person we know. Everybody's gonna agree with you. Right?
You're one of the nicest people I know. So if anybody's thinking about reaching out to Kris, but you're like, man, I'm not gonna bother him, I still say send him a hello because I feel like you're that kind of guy. You're not gonna bother.
Thank you.
You're not that way. So I just
thank you, man.
Put that out there. And the same goes for Mike and Garrett. you know, I don't know Thad too well. I haven't reached out. He's always been very polite when I do reach out. But I mean, Garrett and Mike are like, they become like family right away. Like when you talk to them, and the same with you. The same with like, you know, Mike Powell. We can go on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, the deal.
When is Mr. Powell's got to get on here soon?
So Mr. Powell, I'm going to confirm.
Oh, he's got a date, doesn't he? That's right.
Mr. Powell does have a date, and I want to confirm, but it is next week. So I confirmed with him a few days ago. It's on as of now, and that'll be December 30th, which will be the like pre-New Year's Eve.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. Well, we got the the Christmas special.
yeah, we got the exactly. Nobody dressed up though, but whatever.
No, man, we just got done tinting. We've been at it since 9. Mm-hmm.
So I guess we could end it there, man. Happy holidays to both of you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hey, really, thanks for what you're doing. Like, thanks for coming on here and sharing this information. I think it'll be really helpful, and I sincerely mean congratulations on both of your success. Like, there's nothing better. I feel like this transition that you made is like one that a lot of people are on the cusp of making, whether they do it on their own or with Sunstoppers or with the support of their dealer network or a friend or a partner, whatever it is. It's that transition from every time I do more business, I also feel more wound up and tired, and being able to break those two ties so you can do more business, but there's a process to it. It doesn't affect you with the business.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, you're right, Eric. You're absolutely right. And like I said, anybody wants to message me, Joe, whatever, I'm happy to chat.
Sure. Well, thank you both. It was a pleasure getting to chat with you again. Happy Christmas and New Year's. Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas, New Year's. All right, Eric. Thank you.
All right, man. Enjoy your evening. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. I very much appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.